recover?
I don't know. It's too soon to say. We should let him rest.
There are thousands of bodies piled in the streets.
He's been very feeble for weeks. He can't get up. He doesn't speak. Do you think we should call a doctor?
Call a doctor? Here?
You're right. Let's just hope he wakes up one of these days. Come on, my friend. Hang on. Don't give up.
Please, let me get to this.
Wake up, Michael. Come on, you have to wake up.
Who are you? Who's there?
Please, Michael, wake up. Wake up.
This silence. And this darkness. Where am I? Damn it. I can't remember. Where are you? Where are you hiding?
Michael, please wake up. You have to wake up.
Michael? Is that my name? Please tell me where I am. I can't remember anything. What's happening? What is this place? Please, tell me.
Wake up, Michael. Please wake up. Wake up now.
Don't go! Please! Come back! Come back! This silence. This darkness. This emptiness.
Good morning. I hope you're feeling better.
But...
Now don't be alarmed. I'm glad you feel strong enough to get out of bed. That's wonderful news. I must say you're looking much better, considering what you've been through, of course.
Who are you?
Ah, yes, of course. Forgive my manners. You've been with us for so long that I forgot that you don't know who we are. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Rod Atkinson. I was the director of the Municipal Property Registry before, before the world collapsed on us.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Atkinson. But... where am I? What is this place?
You are in what I venture to call our home. Our humble, hopefully temporary home. This is one of the many trailers that make up the refugee camp. And believe me, we can consider ourselves lucky to live between these four walls. Most of the inhabitants of this hellhole, excuse my crude language, have nothing more than plastic tarps and cardboard for shelter.
Wait a second. Did you say refugee camp?
Yes, of course. The Facility for Temporary Accommodation of Disaster Victims is what they called it. You know, after the army declared martial law following the catastrophe. You look a little confused, if you don't mind my saying so. Do you really not know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. I'm afraid not. Let me ask you. Can you tell me what I'm doing here?
Yes, of course. I think we owe you an explanation. A few days after the Great Wave, we found you lying in a ditch near the airport. You were badly injured and unconscious. We couldn't just leave you there. Someone had already stolen your luggage and identification. It was awful. So we decided to take care of you ourselves and brought you here. You've been with us ever since. By the way, I should tell you that when we found you, your clothes were ripped to shreds, so we threw them away. The clothes you're wearing now are mine. You'll find more things in that wardrobe. If you need anything, just help yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Atkinson. But... the Great Wave? What are you talking about?
Well, what would I be talking about? That damned, excuse my language, explosion that brought ruin to all of us. The origin of this filthy new world that now seems to be our permanent reality. But do you really not remember? Do you really not remember anything about all this?
I feel a little weak and dizzy, Mr. Atkinson. Excuse me. I'm afraid I can't. I can't remember a thing.
I see. There have been many cases like yours in the camp. Try to rest and not to get too agitated. Well, there's one thing I can tell you. You can consider yourself fortunate. There's nothing nice to remember about recent times, believe me.
You said with us. Who else lives here?
Ah, yes, of course. I still haven't properly introduced my family to you. Now is a bad time, but I promise to make proper introductions later. My wife and I sleep in the other room, and, well, little Colin sleeps with us.
Colin?
Yes, Colin is our only child. Our one ray of hope since the catastrophe. I'm going to confess something to you. Colin is the only reason my wife and I still struggle to keep going in this new world. We would have given up a long time ago if it weren't for him.
Of course. I understand. So that was your wife's voice that woke me up a few minutes ago, right?
My wife? No, that's impossible. My wife has been with me in the other room the whole time. We haven't come out of there for hours. But I'm glad you're feeling better and are fully conscious now. I guess we could say you've been reborn. And although the circumstances aren't the best, simply being alive nowadays is practically a luxury. So, welcome to our home.
From what you've told me, I see that you've saved my life. I'm very grateful, Mr. Atkinson.
No, please. You don't have to thank us. We just did what we had to. It's our moral obligation to uphold the ethical principles of civilization in this new world. But call me Rod, please. And, well, we also did it for Colin, you see. What kind of future does he face if we accept that it's every man for himself, that no one cares about anyone else? It's a terrifying prospect, don't you think? We're just doing whatever we can to avoid that future, that's all.
Rod!
Please excuse me, but I have to leave you now.
No, wait, please. What's happening? Don't go yet.
I'm sorry, I understand that you have a lot of questions to ask me, but now isn't the time. Believe me, I promise to answer each and every one of your questions in peace and quiet later. Sorry, but I have to go.
Rod, please, quickly!
Okay, all right.
Now that you're feeling better, you can go out and take a walk around the camp. But please, be very careful out there. The world you knew before is gone. Heed my warning, don't touch anything. Don't talk to anyone, and don't get mixed up in anything. At least until someone explains to you how things work in this new world the Great Wave left us. Everything has changed so much out there.
All right. Thanks for the advice.
One more thing before I go. You've been with us for quite a while now, and we don't even know what to call you. What is your name?
My name? Michael. My name is Michael.
Very pleased to meet you, Michael. We'll talk again later, I promise.
Michael. That's what that disembodied voice called me. That must be my name. Wake up, Michael. That's all she said. Leaving me in this immense void where I can't remember anything. Great wave? New world? Refugee camp? But what the devil could have happened out there? I think it might be a good idea to go out there and take a look. It's no use. It won't open. I heard Rod bolt it from inside. A pile of frying pans, plates, and dirty silverware waiting to be washed. Ugh, this place smells like a cheap, greasy spoon. I'm not going to snuff out this oil lamp. This place looks sinister enough with light. This oil lamp is the room's only source of light. The flickering of the flame makes the room look ghostly, like in a dream. More like in a nightmare. Impossible. It's locked. I'm afraid my host forgot to unlock it before he left. A depressing sight. A damp mattress on a bed frame and dirty, rumpled sheets. This is the bed where I've been convalescing all this time. It's an unframed snapshot, stuck directly on the wall of the room. 2 adults and a child smiling at the camera in what looks like an enormous yard. One of them is Rod, my host. Good God, what the hell happened here? Rod was right. I don't know what hit this place, but wherever it was, it struck into its very foundations, without any mercy whatsoever. What's happening now?
You better hide, dude. Don't you know that it's dangerous to show your face when the cleanup brigades come into the camp? You're new here, aren't you?
Yeah, you could put it that way.
Well, welcome to your new home. I'm Hank, but everyone calls me the Hunter.
I'm Michael. But what's going on up there?
Nothing, Mike, just routine. The cleanup brigades are taking away a sick person, a dissolved. You know how it is, just doing their job. Ironically, that house belongs to one of the camp moles. Those traitorous scumbags.
Brigades, dissolved, moles. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't remember anything.
Oh, I see, you're a blankhead. Well, you better get up to speed real quick if you want to survive here, Mike. Find me if you need help, dude. I can get you whatever you need. Doesn't matter where it is, how fast it runs, or where it tries to hide. That's why they call me the Hunter.
All right, I'll remember that.
Come back here! Don't take her away! Don't you know who I am? Come back here!
They shot that poor man in cold blood. But why did they do that? Hey, Hank? I'm afraid he's gone. The half-scrap remains of a sports car that looks like a collector's item. From the style, it must have been worth a pretty penny a long, long time ago. But now, I'm afraid it's just scrap metal. It's the lot outside Rock. Something tells me it might not be a good idea to walk around here barefoot. Ouch! Damn it! I managed to rip open the sole of my foot on a rusty nail.
Hey, it's not a good idea to walk around barefoot in this enormous trash heap. You won't get very far without shoes.
Yeah, thanks for the tip.
The tip is yours to keep. But if you come near my things, you're a dead man. Understood? Wait, I recognize you. Aren't you the guy Rod's been taking care of in his trailer all this time?
Yes, I am. Do you know Rod?
Of course I do. Everyone in the camp knows Rod. You owe him your life. Don't doubt that for a second. Nowadays, no one in his right mind would do what he did for you, for a total stranger.
Yes, I'm very grateful to him. But tell me, can I ask you a few questions? I've been hearing about an enormous explosion, the Great Wave. What on earth are they talking about?
What kind of question is that? Where have you been all this time? Sleeping in a cave?
Well, you could say that.
The Great Wave is the reason we're confined here like animals. The entire world went to hell in a handcart that day, and we went with it.
I've been able to see that with my own eyes. Can you tell me anything else?
Okay, I'll tell you what I know. The Great Wave hit us one Friday afternoon right out of the blue. I remember it perfectly because I'd just come out of an important meeting at that precise moment. I'd made a lot of money from a very fat contract. Yes, sirree, Bob. Very, very fat. First, we felt the ground quaking, as if a volcano was about to erupt right under our feet. I had to get out of my car and run. Then came the explosions. Glass broke. Buildings toppled. And then for weeks, the stench of corpses rotting in the streets. In just a few hours, that damn Great Wave set us all, with our businesses, our money, and our convertibles, straight back to the Dark Ages.
The Dark Ages.
Of course! Are you surprised? In a matter of minutes, we were left with no electricity, no water, no communications. And after the initial chaos, the dissolved started to show up. And that horrible gash opened up in the sky. That stupid breach up there that no one in this hellhole has bothered to explain to us. The fact is that the remains of the old system only held up for a few weeks. And through the cracks, what you see around you started seeping in.
The New World, right?
Yes, indeed. You catch on fast. The New World was here to stay. Welcome to the future, son. Not exactly the way you pictured it, huh?
Confined? Do you mean we can't leave the refugee camp?
Refugee camp. I've always found that term amusing. It seems like things on the other side of the fence work a little better. But here, look around you. Does this look like a refugee camp? It's an army detention camp, and you're a prisoner. Once you come in here, you lose everything, even your name. To them, you're nothing more than a rat, just another camp rat. You'd never be able to get through the gate, especially if you don't know anyone or don't have any contacts on the outside. Doesn't matter who you might have been before the old world collapsed. Believe me, I speak from experience. If you're just a camp rat, I'm afraid the only way out of here is feet first. I don't know if you get my meaning.
Of course I do. Thanks for your encouraging words.
You can keep the words, but come near my things and you're a dead man.
This shooting. Could you explain to me what just happened here?
Explain what exactly? That show the cleanup brigades put on? Someone got too chatty and ratted out a sick person, that's all. There's usually a pact of silence in the camp. No one likes to see one of their own in those ambulances. But in this case, the dissolved was a relative of one of the camp moles. Ironic, isn't it?
But they shot a man.
Yes, so they did. So what? The price of human life has gotten a lot cheaper lately. That needn't surprise anyone these days.
Did you say dissolved?
Of course, the dissolved. But what the hell's wrong with you? Those people are a real plague. They're sick, and, so they say, highly contagious. Let me give you a piece of advice about them. If you see one, run the other way like he was the devil himself. Even if they don't give you that deadly disease or drive you crazy with their trances, the cleanup brigades will kill you for hiding one. You saw it with your own eyes. They don't even respect their own camp moles.
A camp mole? What is that exactly?
A spy. A stool pigeon. It's in the Army's interest to control the camp from inside. And so they pay some of the inhabitants to feed them information about what happens on this side of the fence. Who comes in, who goes out, who causes trouble. And, of course, who gets sick. They're scumbags, but very well-paid scumbags. And they have certain privileges that no one else in here has. Never trust a mole. They'll do anything to hang on to the favors the Army gives them in this hellhole.
Okay. I'll take your advice.
You're welcome. But stay away from the shopping cart or I'll rip your guts out. Got it?
Tell me about Rod Atkinson.
Well, I don't know him very well, but they say he's decent enough. Too decent for the times we're living in. Did you know that before coming here, he was someone important? I think he worked for the government, and he still has some good contacts on the outside. But they're not good enough to get that stupid do-gooder and his family out of here.
Stupid do-gooder?
Well, you know how it is. Rod is one of those good Samaritans who think they can save the world. He has helped a lot of people in the camp, but I think he's going to run into problems. I reckon that he's too weak for these times. I don't know how long he'll be able to survive.
You said he had a son. A pretty good reason to hang on, don't you think?
Yes, Colin. I haven't seen that kid running around here for some time. Do you know if he's all right?
I don't know. I still haven't seen him. His father told me about him.
Well, I'm glad he's not anywhere near me. That brat doesn't have anything better to do than to try to snoop in my shopping cart.
Well, I'll be going on my way. Good luck to you, pal.
Just be sure to stay away from my things.
But what's happening? What is this? What the hell's going on here? Good God. I think I'm starting to lose my mind. Rod seems upset and worried. What's going on in there? That's Rod's wife. I heard her calling him from the other side of that door that just closed behind him. She looks worn out with those dark circles under her eyes. She looks like she hasn't slept in days. That must be little Colin, Rod's son. He looks unwell. Was that him I heard moaning in pain inside the trailer? It's hard to see clearly through all the grime on this glass. On the other side is the room where Rod and his family have locked themselves away. From here, it looks like one of those metal boxes for Danish butter cookies. And judging from how worn it looks, I'd say that it's been reused over and over again. A bunch of shacks, trying valiantly to stay standing in a sea of mud and trash. I can't imagine how it must be to live in one of them. No. With my foot in this condition, I wouldn't get very far. I think it would be better to go back inside the trailer and try to take care of this wound. It doesn't look too good. I'm not going to snuff. With the glass in the door broken and that thick coating of grease lining it, I doubt. I don't think that's a good idea on a piece of junk. I'm afraid I can't do that. Let's see. I could swear that the lid is just the right size for this drum. Perfect.
Damn it! What's going on? This damn shithole is going to be the end of us.
A supermarket shopping cart full of plastic bags, ready to burst. This individual who looks like a bum never takes his eyes off it, and the swarm of insects fluttering around. Someone improvised a bonfire inside that drum. Now that I've covered the top, the smoke coming out of the bullet hole in the side is concentrated, making it act like a chimney. I'll have to do this quickly, before this man stops coughing. Well, let's see what we have here.
What's going on?
Ugh. I don't see anything but rotten food, tattered clothes, and trash. Wait a minute. It seems like there's also a small billfold with a bunch of credit cards.
That's what they want.
What the hell is this guy doing with so much plastic money?
They mean to kill us all. That's what they want.
These are the charred and misshapen remains of a bank card. I doubt it could be used in this
They mean to
condition,
kill us
assuming there's
all.
anyone capable
That's
of
what they
finding a
want.
cash machine working.
A person can't even
Impossible.
breathe in this hellhole anymore.
Let's see if I can do this. Good. The mechanism gave way on the first try, but the card is trashed. For my sake, I hope that guy outside never finds out about this. Not just yet. I'm grateful to Rod for his hospitality, but these old shoes don't look very clean. It won't take more than a few hours for the wound on my foot to turn really ugly. And the last thing I need now is a serious infection. For now, it's just a pillowcase. I don't see any point in soaking it in liquor. What these sheets need isn't liquor, but more like a good detergent. I took it out of here. Why would I want to put it back? Okay, let's see how well this protruding bed spring can cut. I'll use a little of what's in the bottle to soak the bandages. Here goes. I'll use the bandages on my foot. I hope the alcohol is enough to keep it from getting infected. Let's pray this improvised remedy doesn't lead to a delightful case of gangrene.
What bastard put a lid on the drum? You tried to suffocate me, you bunch of assholes!
I think that guy out there just discovered the reason for a sudden coughing fit.
Some coward in this shithole wanted to suffocate me! Me! Who was it? Who was it? Come back here so I can give you back your lid, you son of a bitch!
Did you hear that noise, Rod? What's going on out there?
I don't know. I'll go have a look. I think it's that poor drunk who's always hanging around the trailer. He's kicking up a fuss again. It's a good thing poor Colin can't hear his insults.
Don't ever say anything like that again, Rod.
I'm sorry, honey. I wasn't thinking. What are you doing here? Get out of here! You've no business being in this room!
Rod, I'm sorry. But what's going on?
Get out of here, Michael! You didn't see anything, understood? Out! Out! Excuse my outburst, Michael. I shouldn't have behaved that way. It's not like me. But this new world brings out the worst in all of us. It's just that I can't stand to see Colin suffer this way. So for your own good, please, stay away from this room.
Away? Why?
It's no use trying to hide it. You're bound to find out sooner or later. Colin is very sick, and the authorities claim his illness is highly contagious.
Highly contagious? Is he one of the dissolved?
Michael! I won't let anyone use that word in my house! Yes, Colin caught that damn disease.
And what exactly does the disease consist of?
I don't know, Michael. No one really does. The only news is what the army brings us. They say the disease is highly contagious, and it's our duty to turn over all victims to the cleanup brigades. But no one has ever come back after being carried off in one of those ambulances. No one. So we can't let them take Colin, do you understand?
Yes, of course I understand.
They say that all the victims are condemned, that there's no salvation for anyone, that at the end of their suffering and their trances lies certain death. I think that even the army is afraid of the victims. Really strange things happen around them, Michael. Things you wouldn't believe.
What things happen around people infected with the disease?
Strange things with no possible explanation. In their trances, they go places, Michael. They bring back information. They know things. They talk to people who are no longer with us. And we've been living like this for weeks. The things that are happening around Colin are getting more and more confusing and hard to bear.
Talking to the dead? Jesus, this man's nerves are shot from the exhaustion and stress. But how did Colin get infected?
We don't know. No one knows how the disease is spread. The only thing we know is that the disease appeared after the catastrophe and that it's spreading like wildfire.
So the Great Wave brought the dissolved with it?
Yes, but don't use that word again. Not in this house, anyway. It's so cruel and disrespectful. In effect, that's the only thing we know for sure about all this insanity. The Great Wave took everything from us and left us with this epidemic.
What's happening to Colin is terrible. If only there was something I could do.
Well, Michael, you can help us. I'm convinced that our finding you was no coincidence. You've got to help us.
But you said yourself that all the victims are condemned. What can I do?
No, all is not lost. In the camp, there are rumors of a cure. It seems that in the city, on the other side of the fence, the victims have access to a drug. But we can't get it here. And my contacts out there, well, let's just say they can't do anything to help.
So there's a drug that can cure them?
Yes, but they say that producing it takes a long time and is very expensive. And so it's reserved for city dwellers who can afford to pay for it. Get us that drug, Michael. I beg of you, please. Colin's time is running out.
Getting involved looks dangerous. I saw that shooting out there. There's also the possibility of infection.
Infection? Are you afraid for your life, Michael? Without our help, you'd be dead right now. Dead. Don't forget that. What's more, I could help you in return. I could help you get back what you lost. Don't you see?
Give me back what I lost? But you hardly know me, Rod.
I know the essential part, Michael. I know that you're a blankhead.
Blankhead? What the devil does that mean?
A blankhead is a person with no memories, who can't remember anything. It seems that the Great Wave had an enormous neurological impact on certain people, Michael. You're not the only one, or even the worst case. There are people who even forgot how to talk and how to walk after the explosion. Some ended up dying of starvation. They forgot what food looked like, how to chew it, even that eating was a necessity. You can consider yourself lucky. You still remember how to keep yourself alive. And that's the important thing. The natural recovery process is slow. It can take months, if at all. Listen to me, Michael. A man without memories is just a shadow, or even worse, he's nobody. I still have some contacts out there. I was an important man in the municipal government. I could trace your name, your data in public records, your fingerprints. I could restore your whole life in the blink of an eye. But please, help us.
I'm grateful for your help, Rod, and for everything you people have done for me. But
listen to me, Michael. We know that it's possible that our son is condemned to die. In fact, my wife and I have everything prepared for when he leaves us. Our child is the only thing that keeps us holding on in the new world. Nothing would have any meaning for us without him. So if there is even the slightest chance of saving him, we are prepared to do whatever it takes. Please, Michael, help us. For God's sake, listen to him. He's just a child.
Rod, come in here, quickly!
Bring us that cure, and we'll help you get your life back. Colin is our only hope in this new world. Help us save our future, and I'll give you back your past. I promise you. Goodbye, Michael.
No, Rod, wait. Bring a drug? Is he out of his mind? That man wants me to put his son's life in my hands? I can barely remember who I am. And I probably wouldn't last more than a few hours out there. But Rod was right. A man without a past is nothing more than his shadow. He offered to help me get my life back, my memories. So if I want answers, I have only one possible course of action: to get that drug. I'm not going to snuff out this oil lamp. Wait a minute. Before leaving, I should write down everything important I find out in this notebook. It might come in handy if, as Rod says, I'm one of the blankheads the great wave left in its wake. Time has left these hinges bent and rusted. There's no way I'm going to be able to break open this door with my bare hands. Good hand?
Not bad. But you know what they say. The important thing is not the hand. It's knowing how to play your cards right.
If you've come to be with the girl, where's the money? If you haven't, quit bothering us.
Hello, Mr. Sleepyhead.
Excuse me? What did you call me?
You're Mr. Sleepyhead. I saw you sleeping in Colin's trailer. I'm so glad you're awake now.
I wasn't asleep. I was sick for a long time in that trailer.
No, you weren't sick. You were sleeping like a big brown bear, Sir Sleepyhead. Sometimes I used to watch you sleeping in Rod's house, and you would grunt in your sleep like a bear. A great big lazy bear, Mr. Sleepyhead. But I'm glad you're awake now. I like your voice. You sound like a knight in a fairy tale.
Mr. Sleepyhead? No, that's not my name. I'm Michael.
No, you're just trying to fool me. You're Mr. Sleepyhead. My name is Rose.
There's something odd about this girl's behavior. It's true that she's very young, but she talks like a little girl. Nice to meet you, Rose. So, do you know Rod and Colin too?
Of course. I go over to their house a lot. Well, when they let me out of the van, that is. Rod and his wife have been very nice to me. Sometimes they let me play with Colin. We're very good friends. Are you a friend of Rod's and Colin's too, Mr. Sleepyhead?
Yes, I'm friends with them too.
Do you want me to tell you a secret, Mr. Sleepyhead?
Of course.
I have your old clothes. The ones you were wearing when Rod and his wife found you. I have them in the van. They were going to throw them away, but they gave them to me to wrap my baby in. He'll be cold now that winter's coming.
Your baby? You have a baby, Rose?
Yes, I have a baby, but he's not with me right now. He got lost. Have you seen him? Do you know where he is? I have another secret to tell you, Mr. Sleepyhead.
Back in the van, Rose, now. Move your ass. Get in there.
Another secret? Just a minute. Wait!
Get in that van, Rose.
It's a very important secret, Mr. Sleepyhead. Something about you. Something about before the Great Wave. But first I have to find my baby. Have you seen him?
Come on, Rose, you heard me. You don't want to get us mad now, do you?
I have to go. Goodbye, Mr. Sleepyhead.
Poor girl. She's obviously mentally ill. She's just a little girl in a grown-up's body.
And you, if you want to go in there with her, you gotta pay like everybody else. Hey, keep your hands away from that thing, pal, if you want him to stay attached to you.
Okay, I just wanted to see it up close. There's no reason to get nervous. A few lousy coins. They don't look like they're worth much, just a few loose pennies. An enormous rusty tank designed to collect rainwater. Everything indicates that the Great Wave wiped out the concept of running water in one fell swoop, at least on this side of the fence. Hello.
Hello, son. Would you like to get a little closer to the fire?
Thanks, mister. This is a rather isolated part of the camp. What are you doing here?
Well, I'm waiting. That's all. Just waiting.
You're waiting. And what is it you're waiting for exactly?
Nothing in particular. The usual. For the fire to go out, for sunrise, for it to get cold again. I'm waiting for something to change, or for everything to stay as it is. I'm just waiting. You're too young to understand.
It's starting to get cold. Where's your tent? Or your trailer?
Yes, I had a tent once. They issued me one when I decided to enter the refugee camp after the Great Wave. The trailer was out of the question. They went to the families with the best contacts. Now, you know how it is. Even in purgatory, some people are more equal than others.
You say that you decided to enter the camp. Does that mean that people weren't forced to come here?
Oh, no. Of course not. Why would they have to force us? The catastrophe hit the city hard. Those of us who had lost our homes were invited to come here. In principle, it was temporary, just until the authorities got the situation under control and started rebuilding. We used to have food, water, and a place to sleep.
But now it's more like a prison camp than a refugee center. What happened?
I don't really know. I guess something went wrong. The new housing they promised us never got built. And in the end, the army ceased control of the camp. The food ran out, and then the water supply. Nobody bothered to replace them. Seems like our lives didn't matter anymore.
I see.
In time, things in here started to get very ugly. There were riots, uprisings, and the army decided to close the gates of the camp without any notice. One day they decided that no one could enter or leave here. Well, actually, people still could. Enter, that is. Now, this is where anyone who gets in the way in the city ends up. Or anyone they don't know what to do with.
So, this has turned into something like a concentration camp.
That's right, son. That's exactly what it is. You know, it's funny. I remember when my father told us about the war in Europe, about all the persecution, deportations, those overcrowded cattle cars. That all sounded to us like an old movie, an old horror movie. And look at us now. I guess some things never change. They just stop being visible for long enough for us to forget about them.
And where's your tent now?
It was stolen from me a while back. They fetch a good price on the black market now.
Stolen?
But how could anyone...
You seem to be new in the camp, am I right? These things happen nowadays. It's best to take things as they come. The reality of the new world is very simple, son. The soldiers and the moles do whatever they like on this side of the fence. And the hunter and his men run the black market and all the dirty rackets. I suggest you memorize all this.
The hunter? I've exchanged a few words with him, but I hardly know him. Yes. The man who protected me during all the shooting. He seems like someone with good connections and some answers. Could he know anything about the drug for treating the dissolved? Do you know where I can find him?
You can find him in those barracks at the back. That's his... well, let's say it's his logistics office. Now, the hunter is very dangerous. Watch your step around him and his men. I happened to meet his father when he was young. He was a violent, degenerate son of a bitch. A real asshole. And I'm afraid his son has followed in his footsteps.
Let's talk about something else. So tell me, is there any way to get out of the camp?
I'm sorry, son. The only way to get out of this camp is to know someone important who can pull strings for you. Or to become a camp mole. Those traitorous scumbags have gate passes.
I see.
I'm not surprised you want to get out of this shithole. You've no doubt got something to do or someone to find out there. Well, they say things are better in the city. That there's order and that things are starting to function again. But who knows? Well, at least they have Reverend Blake and the consolation of Suicide Park.
Suicide Park? What's that?
Nah, just a song that drifts into the refugee camp from the other side of the fence now and then. And the first dark stars come out to hang from the sky. We could sit and count them together, you and I, when the sun departs from Suicide Park. I'm sure you still have some hopes, some dreams. I'm afraid you're just too young to understand it.
Who's Reverend Blake?
He's a preacher who sometimes comes from the city to bring us a little comfort. Now, some people make jokes about him, but many of us believe that he's a prophet. You should hear him speak sometime. His words etch themselves deeply into your soul. That's why he has so many followers inside and outside the camp.
And what was the extent of the Great Wave's impact? How are things beyond the city?
Truth is, I couldn't tell you. In the first days, the chaos was so overwhelming that no one worried about anything beyond their own backyard. We victims were disoriented, cut off from the world. Then I came into the camp and news from far-off places doesn't reach this prison. I'm afraid you'd have to leave here to get the answer to that question.
It's starting to get cold. Where's your tent? Or your trailer?
Yes, I had a tent once. They issued me one when I decided to enter the refugee camp after the Great Wave. The trailer was out of the question. They went to the families with the best contacts. You know how it is. Even in...
Let's talk about... I should be going on my way. Have a pleasant wait, mister. Okay, here goes. It's impossible to budge these drums at all. I don't know what they contain, but whatever it is, it weighs a ton.
What are you having, pal?
Nope. I'm afraid I don't have any cash on me.
That's no problem here. We don't only accept cash, we also barter. We accept anything of value. That excludes checks, naturally.
Interesting place. Are you the owner?
No, pal, don't get the wrong idea. I only work here. This belongs to the hunter, like every other business enterprise here inside the camp. He's the head honcho.
I see. What do you sell here?
Anything you can eat or drink. Anything that fits into a box or a bottle. For other types of goods, talk to the hunter directly. What do you need? Liquor, tobacco, food?
At the moment, I don't need anything like that, but I'll keep it in mind. Thank you. I saw a bunch of barrels stacked up at the entrance to the building. Just out of curiosity, what's in them?
Nothing. Just some things that need to be stored. Take my advice, pal. Keep your nose out of the hunter's business if you want to keep it on your face.
Okay, it was just curiosity.
Mike, my friend, it's nice to see you again.
Hi.
Guys, this is my friend Mike. He's new around here. We met at one of the cleanup brigade's latest parties. Isn't that right, dude? Pull up a seat and have a drink. We like to be hospitable to newcomers.
Something tells me I shouldn't accept that drink. That it's not a good idea. Not anymore. No thanks, I don't drink.
Okay, Mike, whatever you say. But I'm not accustomed to people turning down a drink. At least, not in my own establishment, in front of my men. So tell me, what brings you here?
Tell me, why do they call you the hunter?
That's a good question, Mike. You know my real name is Hank, but no one calls me that anymore. Now I'm the hunter, because I can find you what you want, when you want it. You know, it doesn't matter where it is, how fast it runs, or where it tries to hide. The new world gave me a new name and a new life.
A new life?
Yeah, a new life. It's hard to explain, dude. But I think in a way, you and I are similar, Mike. That's why I like you. Let me explain it to you. It was the Great Wave. The Great Wave that changed and purified everything. The old world was a messy, complicated, and unjust place. After the Great Wave, everything became crystal clear. When all the old laws disappeared, only one rule remained. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's that simple. And that's the universal law that puts each of us in our rightful place. Do you follow me?
You gotta do what you gotta do. Sounds like a handy way to justify anything and everything. Even the indefensible. Yes, Hank. I follow you perfectly.
I knew it. I knew you'd get it straight off, Mike. But don't call me Hank. I told you, that guy died in the Great Wave.
A friend of mine is in a bad way. I need to know if there's a drug that can help the dissolved, and how to get it.
A friend of yours, huh? Friendship is important, Mike. The camp is a very tough place, and you have to be loyal to your people. I like your gesture. Do I know this person?
No, I don't think so.
I see. Well, look, dude, I've heard something about that cure, but I don't know if it's true or just a camp legend. Sometimes desperation leads to wishful thinking. You know how it is. But if that drug exists, I can think of only one place you'd be able to find it.
Where?
There's a small medical center on the outskirts of the city. It's more like a pharmaceutical warehouse, but it's heavily guarded. I'd bet my bottom dollar that's where they keep anything that valuable. Maybe you should take a look at that building, if you can find a way out of this hellhole, that is. And I can't help you with that. You know I like you, dude. Let me give you a piece of advice. Stay away from those untouchables. From the dissolved. They won't bring you anything but trouble.
What more can you tell me about the dissolved?
Only what the authorities say. And that's all I need to know. The disease is fatal. And they say you can catch it just by breathing next to one of those untouchables. That's why they have to get rid of them as soon as possible. Have you ever seen one of those poor suckers die, dude?
No, I haven't.
Well, you're lucky, Mike. I don't recommend it. It's a horrible spectacle. It goes something like this. After weeks of drifting in and out of their trances, something happens inside their bodies. Something fails all of a sudden. The pain makes them kick and scream like pigs in a slaughterhouse. Then their flesh begins to melt, to become liquid. Do you understand, Mike? That's why they gave it that name. They literally dissolve.
But that's terrible. Those poor people.
On the contrary, dude, those bastards spread the plague. It's them or us. Understand? Anyway, you know how it works. The cleanup brigades tend to be more than generous with responsible citizens who help them with their mission of tracking down the dissolved.
I should be going now.
Fine, Mike. You're welcome anytime. Remember, dude, here we can get you whatever you need. No questions asked.
A clandestine dive, which at the same time is the headquarters of the Black Market. Nice place to hang out. It's a thick cable that runs along that building's roof, but I can't see it very well from here. It's too high. Okay, here goes. It's impossible to
Damn it. What's going on? It's amazing. Everything's changing again. Everything. Everything is mutating, and I haven't even moved. I don't understand. I don't understand anything.
Where do you think you're going, Rat? No one leaves here without a pass, unless it's with a bullet between the eyes.
Yes, and we can take care of that for you if you don't get away from that gate. Come on, stick your neck out. We could use a little entertainment tonight.
What's the matter, Rat? Cat got your tongue?
I think it's best if I get away from the gate. I'm afraid their threats are deadly serious. Sorry, guys. I'm not looking for trouble. Nice motorcycle.
It is, isn't it? It's ours. So get anywhere near it, and you'll end up against that wall.
You don't have the authority to touch it, or point at it, or even look at it.
Dare to touch it with your grubby hands, and you're a dead man. I guarantee it. Got it?
Okay, understood. You say that I can only get out of the camp with a pass. Where can I get one?
Only soldiers and moles have passes for entering and leaving the camp. And you don't look like either one of those things. So get lost.
Well, sometimes we can make an exception, but only if the person who wants to leave is generous enough. And why exactly do you want to leave the refugee camp? What did you lose on the other side of the fence, Rat?
I just want to help a friend's kid, that's all.
Heartwarming. Really heartwarming. I got an idea. Why don't you bring your friend and his kid with you? We'd be happy to let all three of you leave.
Really?
Of course, Rat. We love target practice. I promise to give you guys a running start.
Yeah, we'll give you a few yards start. That would make it more fun.
I get the impression I'm talking to two armed psychopaths. Unbelievable. Who put these guys in charge of guarding the camp? I'm afraid it doesn't seem like such a good idea to me anymore. But thanks for the suggestion. So, I've heard things are better in the city. Is that true?
Yeah, it could be. But that's none of your business. What do you care? If you're gonna die in this dump anyway.
Get the idea of leaving right out of your head. There's no place for rats like you on the other side of the fence. Unless you want to take a walk in Suicide Park. Do you want to become a Dark Star rat?
Now quit bothering us and get lost.
I won't bother you anymore.
Get lost.
You filthy rat! Get out of my house! Do you hear me? Out!
Forgive me.
We've got nothing left for you to steal. Go back to your sewer, you filthy rat! Scram!
No, you've got it all wrong. I haven't come to take anything. But wait a minute. I recognize you. Weren't you with the man they shot out there a while back?
Yes. My name is Misha. And that man is my husband.
But what happened? Why did they shoot your husband?
It's all your fault. All because of you camp rats. One of you reported him for harboring a dissolved. And those army pigs opened fire without even caring who they were aiming at. Or how hard my husband had worked for them.
So the lady the cleanup brigades took away from this house was a dissolved.
That was my mother. I'm never gonna see her again. Damn filthy rats. Are you satisfied? It was you people that brought death to this family.
Why is everything all over the floor? Were you robbed?
They left us nothing. Those envious rats took everything. They'd been hanging around waiting for days. It seems like those bums have a sixth sense about where a dissolved is being hidden. When they saw my husband injured and lying on the ground, they forced their way in and looted our house.
Bums? Envious rats? Who are you talking about exactly?
Them! All of them! Everyone living here in this camp envies us. They envy who we are, what we have, our privileges, our army contacts.
So they envy you because your husband is a mole. Is that right?
Don't call him that, you worm! He collaborates with the forces of law and order. That's his job.
And in this collaboration with law enforcement, wasn't turning in others of the dissolved one of your husband's duties?
Shut up! Shut up! You envy us too! You're just like the rest of the rats in this camp. And what are the three of us gonna do when my husband's gone? We'll lose everything! The house, the money, our privileges.
You said the three of us. Is there someone else in the family?
We have 2 children, 2 small boys. And in this camp, envy eats away at everybody. Now we'll be outcasts. No one will help us when my husband is gone. Winter will come, our money will run out, and my children will starve. Those 2 brats wear me down with their antics. I have to chase after them all the time, but they're my children, and none of this is their fault.
How is your husband?
He's badly injured. One of the bullets went through his stomach. He's not gonna make it. He's really suffering. He's in excruciating pain. If we at least had some morphine to ease his pain.
What privileges are you going to lose?
As a collaborator, my husband always received special treatment from the army. More generous rations of food and water. A little money, clothes, a treat now and then for the kids. And now all of that's gonna end. We won't be able to leave the camp. When he dies, they'll take away his gate pass. We'll die locked up in here. Like you rats.
Did she say a gate pass? Listen, Misha, I can help you.
And just how are you gonna help us, rat?
There's something important I urgently need to get from the other side of the fence. While I'm out there, I could also get some morphine for your husband. I've heard that things are better in the city. It shouldn't be too hard for me to find some, but first I need to get out of the camp.
Like I told you, my husband has a pass that gets him through the gate. I could lend it to you, but I don't trust you. I don't trust you or any other filthy rat in this camp. Beat it! Get out of here!
If I want to get my identity back, I need that drug for the dissolved. And to get it, I have to leave the camp. I have to do whatever it takes to gain this woman's trust, no matter how unpleasant I find her screams and insults. Listen to me. I'm not just another camp rat. I'm your friend. I want to be your friend. You told me you were worried about winter coming. Let me help you. I'll bring you food. Food for your children. Then will you trust me?
I don't know. Bring me the food first. First you bring me food for my children, and then we'll talk about that pass.
I'll do it. That must be that strange phenomenon in the sky I've heard people talking about in the camp. The one that appeared just after the Great Wave. God is urging his angels to punish us through the wound. It says in the notebook I found in Rod's trailer. Hi, kids.
Hello, sir.
What are you up to?
We're doing target practice. We're going to be real good shots. Someday, we'll get those pigs who shot Dad.
How awful. These children must have seen the cleanup brigades shoot their father out there. Poor kids. And how is the target practice going?
Bad at the moment. We need a real target, or we'll never be able to hit those soldiers.
Yeah, we need a better target. Hey, quit talking to that rat. He's not one of us. You know what Mom and Dad say about the people in the camp. Leave my brother alone. Get lost, rat.
Yeah, you're not one of us. Get lost, rat.
Thank you. Now we'll really be able to become the best shots in the camp.
So now you're saying this rat isn't a rat?
No, I'm not. My name is Michael.
Hello, Michael.
So tell me, why do you want to throw rocks at those soldiers?
We have to get revenge. We're big boys now, and that's what we gotta do. Those pigs shot our dad. We heard him screaming. He's hurt real bad.
Mom said we'll never see him again.
Damn pigs! My brother and I are gonna get them. All of them.
But when they were Dad's friends, you used to say you wanted to be a soldier when you grew up.
Shut up. That was before. I wish I could reach those watchtowers with my rocks.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
That's not a bad idea. Something tells me that a little commotion along the barbed wire fence would be a good thing for everyone. It's pretty late for kids like you. What are you doing out in the street at this hour?
Hey, we're not kids. We have to practice our marksmanship. Our mom gets real mad when we do it inside the house. It's not like we have anywhere else to go in this dump.
Nowhere else to go? So you don't go to school? Don't you have any friends from school?
There is no school. Not since the explosion.
Our mom says we don't need it anyway. We're big boys now, and someday we'll be very important people in the camp. Just like our dad. That's why we don't hang out with the other kids around here. Our parents say they're rats. They'd be a bad influence on us.
Yes, we're going to be brave and strong, like our dad. Right, Michael?
Of course you will. I have to get going. Keep practicing your marksmanship, boys.
starting again. It's amazing. Everything's changing. Everything. Everything is mutating, and I haven't even moved. I don't understand. I don't understand anything.
One of the many sentry towers surrounding the camp. And inside each and every one of them, there's a sniper, armed to the teeth and itching to shoot something. I'm not gonna pick them up. I'm sure it took the kids a long time to collect all those rocks for their target practice. Besides, I bet my aim is worse than theirs. These are by far the tallest structures in the refugee camp. How far could it be to the highest point of that tower from here? 20? 30 yards? Don't these boys look a little young for what's in the bottle? Besides, I don't think the whiskey will do much to improve their aim. Impossible. It's dozens of yards from here to that. Better not, but... It's Misha, the mole's wife, the man, a rather unpleasant woman. But she could be the key to getting out at first. I have to get some food for her children. That was the deal.
Don't even think about touching anything in this house, rat. Haven't you done me and my family enough harm already? You're just a lousy thief, like all the other cockroaches around here. Get out of here.
No, wait, you're confused. I just wanted to clean up this mess a little. I just want to help you, okay?
Oh, yeah? Keep your hands off our things, you filthy rat. Understand?
Of course. Understood. Whew. A pack of filter cigarettes trapped under the drawer. I guess whoever looted this house didn't see them, or perhaps wasn't a smoker. Hello again.
They shot him! And what we'll lose.
I should be going, but I promise to help you, and I will. Give me that pass for getting out of the camp.
I don't... First...
Okay. Better not. I have no... I'm not gonna pick them up. I'm sure it took the kids a long time to collect all those rocks for their design.
Hello, Michael.
I need your help, boys.
How can we help you, Michael?
I have to get something from inside your house. It's something I need so that I can help your father. Understand? But your mother is very agitated, and I need you to give me a hand with her. It's a mission.
What do you want us to do, Michael?
I need you to get your mother out of the house for a few minutes. Just long enough for me to go in and get what I need. Do you think you can do that?
Of course, we're big boys.
I'll owe you. I promise to give you a reward.
Okay, let's do it.
A mission.
Oh, my head! What the hell's going on? Oh, God! My head feels like it's gonna explode!
Michael, please, help us! Help us! Please, remember, Beechwood Oracle.
Repent! It's the sun! Was it our fault? Did we do it? Yes! We did it!
Enough! Please! Enough!
Please, Michael, help us! Only you can do it. Remember, Beechwood or...
Good God, what are these images? And that woman's voice. It's the same one that woke me up in the trailer. I'm trying to remember. And stop tormenting me.
I hope Rod helps me find some answers. If not, I'll go mad. Absolutely mad. Cigarettes and liquor. But maybe now isn't.
Greetings, pal. What's this? Are you proposing a trade? Because if you are, you came to the right place. What do you need? Liquor? Cigarettes? Food?
I'm still interested in that box of food you offered me. I brought you this.
Let me see. It's a good brand of whiskey. But the bottle's been opened, and there's a lot missing. I'd take it, but I'd need something more.
I have this pack of cigarettes.
Fantastic. I think that's a fair price. I'll take both of them. Here you go, pal. The food package is all yours. Enjoy it in good health.
Here, this is what I promised you.
That's all the food you brought? This will barely feed us for 2 days.
I'm sorry, it's very complicated getting more in the camp. I only wanted to show you that you can trust me, that I can help you.
That's what all you rats in this trash heap say? But in the end, only thing you're interested in is taking advantage of my husband and me.
I've held up my part of the bargain. Isn't that proof enough? Listen, let me have that pass to get out of the camp, and I promise I'll come back with the morphine you need to ease your husband's suffering.
Ah, okay. But you better hurry. Here.
What's this? A bracelet?
It's like an ID badge. Wear it and the soldiers will recognize you. It won't just get you out of the camp. It'll also help you avoid all kinds of problems with the army once you reach the city. I'm not sure I'm doing the right thing by giving it to you. Just don't betray me, you rat. Bring me that morphine from my husband, and I promise you, I'll give you lots of money in return. Much more money than you could earn in a lifetime in this shithole.
No, that's not necessary. We never said anything about money.
I have to know you're coming back. I don't trust any of you, and I know that money is the only thing that'll make you keep your word. All you camp rats are alike. Now get out of my sight, and don't make me regret this. And don't come back without my husband's morphine. There'll be a fat wad of cash waiting for you.
Okay.
Go through that gate, and I'll blow your head off with one shot, rat.
Do you need to get a closer look at what I have on my wrist?
Wait a minute. Look, he's got on one of those ID bracelets the camp moles wear. Those cockroaches are very useful to us in here. Lower your gun and let him leave.
You heard him. Get out of here, rat.
I can't reach it from here. Maybe I should find a way to get to the bottom of this enormous hole first. I suppose the rain has been flooding the pit. This water is... This hole in the ground is steep walls of mud. The distance, it's the charred remains of a tree trunk, fighting to keep from being devoured by the enormous hole in the ground. For the moment, it's holding its own. It seems firmly... Impossible. It's beyond my reach. The bars are keeping me from getting there. So, I enter the city. It welcomes me with its most merciless and bitter grimace. What I see before my eyes is not what I expected. Doomsday made it here, too, even if no one in the refugee camp knows it yet. Damn it. The city looks as bruised and battered by the catastrophe as the rest of us.